there's already experience AMD has working with ZT and being able to design these systems for AI and more quickly roll them out seems to make a lot of sense. Why don't you think that within a quarter or two this might start to have some impact?
Thank you for having me, John. You're right. They have been working together. But if you take a step back, success in AI requires success in silicon, success in systems, in software, in developers, in networking. And that is something that NVIDIA has been doing for over a decade. And that is, I think, the competition that AMD has to face. And then the more practical aspect of it is that by the time they close the deal, that is the middle of 2025, and by the time you start to see any incremental sales start to come from this deal, it's towards the end of 25 into early 2026. So we like AMD. There are many reasons to like AMD, right? There's a chance for them to gain share from Intel in the CPU market. AMD is also participating in the AI market, which we think can grow 30 to 50% a year. But on this specific deal, we think it's going to take time for some of the benefits to show up.
Is that necessarily a bad thing? In that if you already like AMD and you think they got some decent tailwinds, this is perhaps another one to come in a few quarters down the line. As an investor, should you look at those comments from you skeptically and say, okay, well, this is a longer way out benefit? Or is it more bullish saying, okay, well, here's another boost potentially a few quarters down the line?
Sure. No, I do think that it is a positive. Back to the point of when does it actually start to matter to numbers in a tangible way. If we take the AI market as a whole, today NVIDIA is about 70–75% of it. If we take all the custom chips from Broadcom and Marvell and several other Taiwanese, that's another 10 to 15% of it. So AMD is essentially fighting for the number 3 position in the market. So that's the remaining 10% of the market, and they are about half of it. So what I think this deal enables them to do is maintain that market share, possibly expand it over time. But when you look at the two extremes of the AI accelerator market, so NVIDIA on the one side with all the scale and incumbency and all the software and developers proven out, and then the custom chips on the other side that have the lowest cost structure and the most customization by the hyperscalers, I think it essentially leaves AMD that narrow about 10% or so of the market to go after. So this, we think, is a necessary part of them maintaining that position in the market. But is it sufficient to help them go against the two other extremes of the market, which is NVIDIA on one side and the custom chips on the other side? That I'm not sure of quite yet.
That's the question that the market is still trying to figure out. Vivek, the 1,000 engineers that AMD gets with this ZT Systems deal, does that underscore the difficulty in procuring specialized talent, not only designing chips, but also the infrastructure build out of data centers? And do you think that other chip makers could use a similar approach in sort of growing inorganically to get access to good talent?
No, you're right, Seema, that building out these complex systems is very different than traditional server infrastructure, right, which used to be a single CPU-based system. Now we are seeing these clusters scale from 20 to 30,000 accelerators to over 100,000 accelerators by the end of the year, to the prospect for 1 million+ accelerators down the line. So building and optimizing these systems is extremely complex. It's extremely expensive. So the customers can use every help that they can get. It's a case of AMD and ZT have been working together for some time, but by the time it gets into a place where just ZT by itself is helping AMD sell GPUs in excess of what AMD had already been selling, I think that's what takes a little bit more time. But you're right, when it comes to the broader semiconductor industry, for the industry, you are starting to see this vertical integration, that these companies are not just selling silicon. NVIDIA is selling a lot of systems. They are monetizing a lot of software. So that is, I think, the natural step in terms of the industry extracting a lot more value from the build out of these AI systems.
Do you think this deal helps inform or influence what CEO Jensen Huang says on the call next week when NVIDIA reports earnings on the 28th, or not really?
I don't think this matters to NVIDIA in the short term, because when we look out at the next 3 to 4 quarters at least, the market is still very supply constrained. Right? There is a lot of supply constraints when it comes to back-end packaging. There's a lot of supply constraints when it comes to the availability of advanced high bandwidth memory. So I think for the next several quarters, demand is very strong. So customers are willing to buy whatever products they can get their hands on. And today, a lot of that product is Hopper, right? We think that Blackwell perhaps has been shifted out by a quarter or so, but just the demand for NVIDIA's Hopper product is so strong. So in the near term, we think numbers can stay strong. But when it comes to this AMD ZT deal, I don't think it matters to NVIDIA for the next several quarters.